Beginning transmission 116. We3. File under Animal Farm.
Come on, you fuckers think that just because a guy reads comics he can't start some shit? I'll fucking take all you want!
Welcome to this week's episode of the Funny Books and Firewater Podcast.
面白い本と歌手ポッドキャストの今週のエピソードへようこそ。
Ignore her. She drinks.
Each week, a motley band of comic readers / amateur bartenders attempt to pair cocktails with comic books.
毎週漫画の読者の雑多なバンドはスラッシュアマチュア入札しようと漫画とペアカクテルバーです。
All while trying to not sound like complete morons in the
すべ
process.
ての中にしようとして音ではないような完了プロセスで低能です。
Kind of like a speakeasy kind of thing. It's kind of cool.
You can find these idiots on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr.
Facebook、Twitter、Instagram や Tumblr にこれらのバカを検索できます。
No, what?
You read too many comic books.
We now join Brian, Jeremiah, Adam, and Todd.
They're used to curious sights which they attribute to alcoholic delusions. They may be drinkers, Robin, but they're also human beings.
I'm too sober for this shit.
Hello. You know what? I'm going to sample that. I think I might hide that. I know where I'm going to hide that. That might be in a siren sound for a show on Mizani.
Oh, for Macbeth?
Yes, exactly.
So you show me your sample sheet before he goes mad. If you do that, I need to know because I want IMDb credit for that. Even though it's live theater.
No, it'd be an IBDB, an Internet Broadway database.
It'd be in what? IB?
IBDB, Internet Broadway database.
Oh.
There's an IMDb,
really?
but for Broadway. Yeah, that's Internet Broadway database. Yeah.
Okay,
But
I want credit as siren number 4.
Maybe. Hey, and welcome to the Funny Books and Firewater podcast. I'm not going to pretend to remember. I know what episode it is. But we are
42.
starting our month. 42. That works. We're starting our month of, we're calling Animal Farm. It's all animal-themed books all the time, kids. Cute, fluffy animals that in no way are going to kill, maim, or destroy you, like this week's book.
Or die.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't die.
Or break your heart.
Or break your heart.
Yes.
There's that, too.
A single tear down my left eye.
But
Yes.
we're diving into spoilers.
We are diving into spoilers way too early, so ignore us. Ignore us!
Ignore her, she drinks.
Ignore her. I don't have that drop on here anymore. I replaced it more with important things of, like, you know, the Lion Cat. And,
Oh, naughty.
and of course, my most favorite one right now.
Manny Bothand is pure genius.
I love it.
I thought you were
so
gonna. I thought you were
much.
gonna do the other one you've been playing all day.
I got it.
She drinks.
That's my ringtone.
Yeah, I'm going to make my text message ringtone that Sazerac cue, though. I think that's what that's going to be.
Yeah.
You really need to fuck off.
Is that so I can be with you always?
Of course, and in my pocket. Rawr.
Hi everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hey!
Always in my pocket, we have Mr. Maya.
Hey, I'm Mr. Maya. If you want to yell at me about comic books, you can do so on Twitter at Mr. Maya or Instagram at the Mr. Maya. I will yell back. It'll be fun.
Quicksilver is better than the Flash.
But when you clap back.
We'll see. Depends on if I'm feeling lazy.
Okay, always willing to clap back and never feeling lazy, we have Mr. Adam.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Adam from Big Chatty Robot. I am a reviews editor over there. I also do the Bored as Hell podcast with Andy Wilson.
Hi, Andy.
And next month is Andy Wilson month. So
Hey!
we're doing Andy Wilson month for August, which is amazing. And then, of course, we have the Cinema Queens podcast with my good friend Chris.
Hey,
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. And yeah, of course, Funny Books and Firewater here. And
Hi, Funny Books and Firewater.
Hi.
Hey! I know you.
Like you guys are in the same room together. It's amazing.
Ah, yes.
We might be in the same room. And then when we're done with this episode, we're going to go enjoy us some lovely sweet pork tacos.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds really good.
I love getting porked in the mouth by Adam.
So there's at least 3 other people in this house who feel the same way. And 2 of them are staring at me right now.
Nodding their heads with a big grin on their face. Yes.
I love being polyamorous and queer. Anyways, yes. Hey.
Good for you.
I love getting sweet porked in the mouth by Adam.
Don't specify.
Tapatio with the Tapatio ranch dressing.
Yes.
Wow.
Jesus
About to get
Christ.
torched in the mouth by Adam, we have Mr. Todd.
Hey, it's my turn next.
It's a me, a Todd.
You know, whenever I head over here on occasion, my lovely wife goes, "Don't suck a dick." Well, unless you want to.
She's open to the idea.
So, right, she's like, "Don't suck a dick unless you want to." So, you know, my wife's amazing. I love you, dear. I don't know why you put up with me. Hey, Amy. So this is Todd. I'm here on the Funny Books and Firewater podcast. I occasionally do the English class hooligans with the other co-host here. That's Leading the Place and my better half, Amy Indeed. So, love you, babe. And just chilling here with Ground Zero with a live studio audience.
We do.
As we're all waiting to be...
Can the live studio audience cheer for us so we know that they're there?
Cheer for us, guys. Cheer.
For the live studio audience.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I was totally misread a marquee on a place in Bountiful. There's Paces Darien, and I thought it said foot-long tacos. And I looked at that, and I'm like, I am
Tell me
so
more.
intrigued.
I want to know where.
I need to. And then I looked closer, and it said footlongs tacos. And I'm like, God damn it, they're separate things. I really wanted to order a foot-long taco.
That's disappointing.
Adam,
And
when
I'm
you
like,
start your own Hamburger Mary's chain, you're going to have foot-long tacos there.
Foot-long tacos. I'm like, what does the tortilla even look like?
The gays would enjoy foot-long hot dogs better.
Fuck long tacos?
Fuck-long tacos. I'm like, could you get like a foot-long chimichanga
The
that's deep
lesbians
fried
want the foot-long
Chimichanga.
tacos.
with the tuna fish inside?
Gross.
It's because you're gay.
Y'all nasty. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
Todd, when you're in LA with me,
Yes, when I'm in LA next.
when we go to the soccer game, when we leave the soccer game, this is my tradition. You're going to enjoy this with me. We're going to have the LA delicacy of street hot dogs, where they take hot dogs and they wrap them in bacon.
Yes.
And then they add like peppers and normal accoutrement, but it's the bacon wrapped hot dogs, which is an LA delicacy apparently.
That sounds amazing. So
they're
this
really good.
day, I bought your ticket, by the way. We're having Sports Day
Oh, okay.
We like
Sports
sports.
Day.
We don't care who
because
knows.
we're going to the Angels game at 1 p.m.
Ooh, fancy.
And then we're going to be slightly leaving the Angels game a little bit early so we can go see LAFC versus the Galaxy that night.
Yeah.
So
in town rivalry, it's going to be
I'm
fun.
actually more interested in going to the LA Galaxy game because I love European football.
European football.
Well, it's not American football.
So I'm going to go watch RSL beat LAFC because they win on the road, but they lose at home this year. And the following month, I'm going to go see the LA Galaxy versus LAFC, right?
So wait, it's
RSL LAFC in July on Sports Day.
No, you got that backwards.
I do.
It's
the Galaxy and LAFC on
it's
Sports
the Galaxy
Day.
game first on Sports Day, and then it's going to be you're going to come back out for the RSL game.
So I'll come in my mouth on the sports on the 26th.
He's coming out.
Yes.
He wants the world to know. To let him show.
Yes, absolutely. And then I'll be flying out again to go see that because that's how we roll, dude.
That's a lot of sports talk for a podcast about drinking and comic books, but that's how it goes.
My brother Steve and I are discussing buying RSL season tickets.
It's fun, man. I recommend it. It's really
good.
fun.
I never thought I would have been in this place a decade ago.
I know, right?
Right? So sports, go sports! I feel so much like JD from Scrubs.
Yeah.
So
my favorite quote line from JD from Scrubs, which Adam will appreciate, is he's talking about his unborn child. He goes, "I just want what every father wants for a child: a lifelong love affair with American musical theater."
Yay! Eagle!
Yeah, sports ball. Which is kind of funny is actually I do like sports, though.
Sure.
I like soccer and football.
So, but sports is you drink a lot and you watch them and you go, I could do that if I wanted to while you're just fucking lying through your teeth. So that's what I like to do.
Fucking lions through your teeth.
I know. It's quite the way to floss.
And hey, I'm Brian. I got no segue.
Hey, Brian. Hey, girl. I know you.
I know me too. I'm a sound designer based in Southern California. I will be in Utah for when this episode comes out as well, actually.
Utah.
So I'll be in
Out of the
Utah,
closet.
which means hopefully the next couple episodes that come out will hopefully be live recorded with us all in the same room. Depending on how many of those we get knocked out while I'm in town, so it'll be fun.
So my question: when will it stop being called coming out of the closet and like coming out of the boudoir? At some point in
boudoir
time,
should be.
it should
Yeah.
totally, because the closet is a thing, is something you are hiding versus just
And
a
if-
pronouncement. Because there's like debutante.
And if you're a Christian, it's coming out of the wardrobe.
Yes, the lion and
With
the
the lion
witch.
and the
my
witch.
hand.
Which
Right?
You mean
I'm
lion?
into bestiality.
You mean lion Jesus?
Lion Jesus? Yes.
Yes. But at
Christ
some
Jesus.
point, we've gone somewhere when it's no longer coming out of the closet, it's coming out of the boudoir, and you just kind of, everyone needs to make the pronouncement of, you know what? This is where I'm at.
Honestly, so again, we're off Pride Month, but my goal
Sure.
eventually, what I would like to see before I die, which we know is going to be sooner than everyone else, because
Right.
yeah, I want it to be like your parents have kids, their son comes home, it's like, hey mom, this is my girlfriend. Like, hey mom, this is my boyfriend. Oh, cool, nice to meet you. And that's it. There's no like, oh, I'm gay on this. Because, and honestly, this generation, especially with Gen Z, is much more gender fluid and also sexually fluid than the other ones are. So
No,
I think we'll get there.
I think we're getting
Now-
there too, but it's this whole thing of there. I guess the assumption of the default: don't assume until.
Asumi.
Yeah, don't assume. Just wait. It's like, what's your kid going to be? I hope the kid's healthy and happy. And how does that look? We'll find out.
I think that all children should have a quinceañera-like party when they announce what their sexual orientation is.
But even at 15, I guess some know. Others are
Yeah.
still trying to figure it
How
out.
dare
Or
you
is
call
it-
me mentally unstable on this today of my cat's quinceanera?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. But also having enough discussion, because as you watch it, it's interesting. I don't know. This is a straight cis white dude talking, so I really have no place to say anything. As I
Yes, but
continue.
you at least are aware enough to know that you're a cis. I didn't know that until a couple years ago.
I learned the same time as you, but I'll embrace
I
it.
know.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people seem they're searching before they settle down, but I think a lot of it is terminology and recognizing different things mean different things. And if you didn't know where to wear it, people's like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I am this. And like, that's not quite right. And the more they learn is maybe I'm pansexual, or maybe I am, I am just straight as the day is born, or you know what? I would not kick out, Jamie Lannister. I would not kick that man out.
He's a
of
good
bed.
looking man.
I met him in real life, and he is even better looking in real life.
Dude, I even watched that new Amsterdam TV show.
I'm sorry,
I thought he looked pretty good.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Use this real name. It's Sister Fucker.
It's like
fair.
Coster, Waldo, I don't know.
It's Sister Fucker, and it would hurt to be fisted by you.
It would be
his
hard to
name.
be fisted by him,
Yes.
but that is a good looking dude. I mean, he might even be higher on my list than Brad Pitt.
I think the top of my list is still Ryan Reynolds.
As much of a mouth he has, I bet he's super
I bet he
generous.
uses it really well.
A kind and generous lover.
I bet he's really generous.
Like,
in
he
that.
would like look you in the eyes during,
Sure.
and he would cuddle.
I just really want to cuddle with him after.
Exactly.
That's really
Like,
what I
I'm a
want.
cuddle monster. I'm a huge cuddle. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a
He
huge
would
slut,
totally be for that.
But also, I'm a cuddle monster too. So
A combination of him and Jay Tranjaseeker from Broken Lynster. The guy who goes, "Who wants a mustache ride?"
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, dude, yeah. If I were
and Chris
queer-
Evans right now has a mustache, so I do want a mustache ride.
Sure.
Anyways, comic books.
Yes!
Yeah.
Straight guy done talking.
We've been
I think.
drinking.
A little. A lot. I
A
love
little.
you, babe.
A little.
Dad,
She got to come pick you
disappointed
up. Oh, he doesn't listen to this. I
No,
was gonna say,
yeah,
hope
he
not.
still isn't aware.
Yeah.
He needs to stay that way.
Okay, so this week we are doing We3. We're beginning our month of animal books, which was appropriate because my cat just climbed on my fucking desk, is now staring at me, asking why I'm talking to myself. Yeah. Anyway, so this is We3. This is a book that Todd, I think, recommended to me many, many moons ago, and I definitely have recommended it to quite a few people as well. Short little book, only 3 issues, so it will get lost in your bookshelf like it did me, where I was trying to find where I'd put it, because I'm like, I had to look it up and make sure I actually owned it. I didn't borrow it. But yeah, as a little bit of a heads up, you have it starts out with it's a story of 3 animals that are sort of based in a team. It's a rabbit, a cat, and a dog that have been equipped with biometric suits and are given like sort of training for government assassin work and whatnot. And
so you have cyborg animals.
Cyborg animals. That's where we start.
It's like the RoboCop of animals.
Yeah.
Yes. Trio.
It is. RoboCop of animals. But the thing is, this thing is so short, if I go any further, we're getting into spoiler territory. So that's what you get before we go
Robot
into...
animals, yes.
Yes. So we will start out like we do most weeks when Adam asks for it. We're going to start out with votes as to whether or not you should read this book, spend your dear hard-earned time, money, all that sort of stuff.
So I've been asked by the judge to be the foreman. And I want y'all to know that we's gonna run a fair jury and a clean jury.
It's time for a vote. Because we love you. And we don't want to waste your money. We will now vote on whether this week's book is fit for human consumption by you, our dear listener. Along with each vote, our panel will also provide one piece of evidence to support their vote.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. There is nothing you can talk to me about that I don't already know.
Mr. Adam, what is your vote?
Yes, although it bothered me a lot.
Hey,
Okay.
but your favorite author of our time wrote it, Mr. Grant Morrison.
That's what bothered him.
It bothered him that it was so good.
I'm guessing your grade, or your vote, what is it, Todd?
Oh, it's a yes.
Mr. Maya?
Absolutely, it's a yes.
Yeah. And for me, it's also yes. I've definitely recommended this to quite a few people. I remember when the first time I read it, I was doing a cheerleading competition, of all fun things, and I kept handing it to other people running different shows to have them read it while they were like. So imagine the peppiness of cheerleading followed by this book. It has quite an impact. So
Dude, I mailed this to you for your fucking birthday, this book.
Did you really? Okay.
I did. That's how you got it.
That's right. Okay. See, so that's like I said, Todd was trying to get me to read it for a long time.
I was.
Well, so then let's go into our drinking games.
And now for sports.
Listen up, sports fans. Prepare yourself and your liver for this week's drinking game. Remember, it's only a game, and a dumb one at that. So don't take it too seriously. And above all else, please drink responsibly.
Mr. Maya, what is your drinking game role?
Yeah, my dream game. And see, I'm the one that hasn't been
He's
drinking.
sober.
I'm
He does
sober.
not have one
He's a
tonight.
dead sober.
My drinking game is called Good Boys and Girls. Basically, anytime the animals ask if they're good or say they're good, and they spell it G-U-D, take a drink.
Fuck you.
Mine is almost as evil, so I'll go with my next. Mine's called The Magic Number. This is a Schoolhouse Rock reference for y'all. Anytime the number 3 appears, take a drink.
Oh, you bitch.
Did I take yours, or is that just evil?
No, it's evil.
Yeah. Well, then what is yours, Mr. Adam?
So mine is strong but silent. So every single time there's a page with no dialogue on it, take a drink.
That's almost as bad as mine.
It is.
Especially for the first
half of the book, yeah.
The first half of the first issue, yeah.
And Mr. Todd.
So when you want to cry like a little bitch when stuff happens at the end, you just need to drink the bottle.
Drink till we can't feel feelings anymore.
Yes, drink all the feels.
Outside of what I mean, okay, so now you know that you're probably going to cry at the end.
Yep.
So we've warned you about that. We've warned you that it's about cyborg animals.
Yep.
It has a bit of a homeward bound kind of vibe to it. I don't know if I can tell you much more without spoiling it. So
let's take that break and come back and
let's take that break, girlfriend.
Okay, then that's what we're going to do. So we'll take a little break. This is the drill. We'll come back. We're going to do a brief discussion of what the plot of this book is, because really it's quick and fast, and then we're going to discuss it and spoil it. So if you don't want it to be spoiled, pause and read the book. If you don't care about spoilers, plow on through and we'll spoil it for you. So that's, you've been warned. Anyway, we will see you on the flip side.
Yacht Queen.
Yes.
Yacht Queen.
It'll be like kimchi with Krusty Burger special sauce.
So fair warning, Sierra, we're going to be spoiling it as you're reading it.
If you have yet to read this week's book and would like to read it now, press pause. Go ahead. We'll wait. Hello out there in podcast land. Funny Books and Firewater is now part of the Hello Sweetie podcast network. It's like a collective of groovy podcasts like Funny Books. Here's another swell podcast you may also want to check out.
What are you watching?
Hey, what are you reading?
Tell me, what are you loving this week?
What are you putting in your ears?
Welcome to The Box. I'm Charity.
I'm Crystal.
I'm Rebecca. On The Box, we talk about all the media we love, old and new.
Here are hottest takes on the classic movies, new TV shows, our favorite podcasts, and what we downloaded this week.
Subscribe on iTunes at HSPN The Box or wherever you get your podcasts to hear us every week.
And don't forget, too much TV will rot your brain.
A proud member of the Hello Sweetie Podcast Network.
And welcome back. So, Mr. Adam, would you like to just give us an ever so brief 30-second summary or stuff?
Definitely, yeah.
Of what this book is?
This tells the story of the government has this thing in place to make sure that animals will be fighting wars going forward, not humans. So they've taken a dog, a cat, and a rabbit, and the cat's the most evil one of them, and put them into these like little mech suits that have like grenades and rocket launchers and machine guns.
The cat's one shoots like razor blades.
Yeah. And sends them out to go take out like drug lords and do stuff. Well, the government comes in and says, "Oh, because like they found the animals can talk." They're like, "It's kind of fucking weird. We don't like this. We're going to shut you down and go ahead and kill the animals." Well, the doctor in charge of it, she actually cares about the pets. So she lets them go into the wild, releases them. The government's pissed, sends the army after them to get these 3 animals back. The animals destroy the fucking army, just like slaughter the fuck out of them. And then they send like the test rats after them. They slaughter them. So finally they send, because it's We3, so they send number 4, which is it a bulldog?
Yeah,
it's like a Rottweiler or a bulldog or something.
It's a bigger
like
dog
that,
to go after them. That's like their next step in evolution.
Yeah. Mastiff, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It's a big dog.
They send it after him. The rabbit dies. In the long run, they the animals trick the authorities. They blow them up, and then it all ends with the animals finding a home. Finally, the cat and the dog
they get out of the
out of the mechs, and they find a home with a homeless dude
who takes very good care of him. And then one of the former doctors ends up feeling guilty and giving him like a couple $100 to take care of the animals.
Because he walks by and realizes, oh, these are those animals.
Those animals, yeah. But they're out of their mech suits and they're still really smart, but they're back to being who they are. So that's the story, and that's honestly that's about as basic as the story is. I mean, this is really good. Like I love this a lot. At the same time, I'm a huge animal lover, and I felt horrible enjoying it because I really liked these characters, like these poor animals. Like the whole dog spends half the book trying to figure out if he's a good dog or not. I'm like, yes, you're a good dog. Stop it.
But I mean, that's kind of the point of the book, too.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's like I felt bad about it.
He also felt bad. He liked a Grant Morrison book.
Yes, that's true.
So, YouTube video titled "I Will Never Leave My Dog Home Alone Again." And what they had done is attached a GoPro to a collar of the dog.
Speaking of dogs.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Floof.
No, that was Badger.
Oh, it was Badger.
Yeah. It was Badger. So, and what it did is they put the GoPro on the dog's collar, and he went out, and it saw the dog run between the front door and another room where he could look out the bay window, and it proceeded to just run between the two, waiting for the master return for like 3 hours. He must have run 50 trips back and forth. So when the owner reviewed this footage, they're like, oh, I am never going to leave my animal alone again, because all the dog was waiting for was the master to come back and be petted. It's like, I'm a good dog. I'm here for you, boy. And that's all he wants. And as you're reading this book, as you've got these 3 animals and you've got, am I a good dog? Am I doing right here? And it really is it's not the personification of this is a dog acting as a human. Nope. Dog's still a dog. Dog's a dog.
The cat's a cat.
And the rabbit is fucking everything you can see. No, not really. But, yeah.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
He might be, and good for the rabbit.
I like that everything stinks to the cat.
Yes, the cat's like, everything stinks. Man stink.
This man stink.
Right. Not good enough. If he dies, I'll eat
The rabbit just wants food. The cat thinks everything stinks. The dog wants to be a good dog. Like, that's how it kind of breaks down.
Yeah.
To real life.
To real life, yes.
Yeah.
So this is 3 issues long. So it's what, 60 pages? Roughly?
Yeah,
60?
Yeah.
Probably like 66.
And honestly, like 40% of the pages have no dialogue. It's just pictures, which is it's really well done art. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's the first issue especially is like them just kind of setting this up, and it's like all this weird shit's happening. But it just breaks my heart when you have these animals talking to each other, and they're like, obviously they didn't want to be part of this. They had no choice in the fact that they were these test subjects and this and that. Well, like,
and as you read the book, like the last page of each issue is the wanted poster.
The wanted poster
because they're missing pets. They were taken.
And even a little bit of it reminded me in Star Trek with the Borg, you had Hugh, and you've got the I Am Hugh episode.
Yeah.
And you've got this guy that's part of a collective, but finding this individual identity. Is you have these animals. They were never asked to be a part of this. They're finding out, who am I? I just want to be this. They're all this extra enhancement that they were not looking for. They had no intention of setting out. It's just kind of happened to them. And it's a story around of stuff happens to them, and they're expected to be all these things. And it is so tragic and sad, and the rabbit dies at the end. And it's you have the cat and the dog that becomes a cat and a dog with the homeless man later on. But you're just reading it. It is so short of dialogue. It is so full of emotion.
Oh, the emotional impact is like insane.
Frank Quitely is a master in conveying a million things without saying a word.
It is awesome. And it's I would be kind of interested to read the script Grant Morrison even wrote out for this thing. You know what I mean? It was more like an outline.
Yeah.
It's like he wrote an outline, let's get this done. It was 3 issues, and it's short and sweet, and it's a lot to the point. And I always find this is a good one to hand out to people. It's like, hey, you should read this. Like, I'm thinking about comics. I'm not sure what to read. Like, read this. This is kind of a litmus test of what comics can be. It's like, comics are for kids. And this kind of book, as it's coming out, it's not, or it's graphic, but not overly so.
No, I mean, we've read more graphic stuff, and I think it definitely it is violent.
It is violent.
It would be an R-rated movie.
It's an R-rated movie, so this is not for a 10-year-old. I will not give this to a 10-year-old kid.
So this is.
I want to see this as like a short film.
I do. I want like a short.
It could be a 30-minute film.
Right, by all means. But this is the limits. Is like, read this. What do you think? And if they go, hey, this was great, and I'm like, this is what the medium of a comic book can be.
Oh yeah, no.
As a really quick and interesting thing is like, if you dig this, I've got so much more to show you, and I can share with you. And if you don't like this at all, there could be other things, but at the same time, it's like, well, okay.
How many issues was Pride of Baghdad?
Pride of Baghdad was just an original graphic novel. It was never issues.
Okay,
so it was just a graphic
I think it was
novel.
the same length though, wasn't it?
I think Pride of Baghdad is slightly longer.
It's a little bit longer.
Yeah, but I get the same feeling of this book as I did with that one, where it's like,
Oh, the end of Pride of Baghdad pissed me off so bad.
Sure.
It pissed me off, but it had to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those things where it's like, you don't want it to happen, but it had to.
Well, and I know we're talking about We3 and not Pride of Baghdad, but that's the part of the book that was based on the true story.
Yeah.
Is the American soldiers, found this pack of lions. Then Brian K. Vaughan is like, well, I'm going to write the story about these lions getting out of the zoo when we bombed Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and We3 is based on a true story as well. So.
Absolutely. So what I would love to see is when Pixar does amazing things.
Oh God, no!
But you've got short film
and can Michael
to the movie.
Can Michael Giacchino do the music for it too?
Absolutely, but prior to the actual movie,
that is a recipe for mass suicide. What that is.
Yeah. We3 done by Pixar is a short film before Pixar.
Pixar is
that's what they would do if they did this.
It's the porn parody. Yeah.
Yes. So when you have Coco 2, when there's the after
Electric Coco 2?
Coco 2, you have We3.
Coco 2, the necrophilia episodes.
Yes.
But yeah, so like I go back to the fact like I love this. It's so well done, and I've gone on record. I don't like Grant Morrison. I think he's a meh. But this was so well done. It was so well written, and yes, the dialogue is sparse, but when it's there, it's heartfelt, and it was hard to read because I'm a huge animal lover, and like I loved. Yes, these cat, dog, and rabbit were like trained to be killers, but at the same time, it's like I felt bad when things bad happened. I felt bad they weren't even in the situation because I don't, I do believe that animal testing needs to happen as far as if we're testing like drugs or like medicine or things that are, relevant towards humans, because I think we should test on animals over humans, and we might lose some listeners, or PETA might get pissed. I don't give a fuck. Fuck PETA, by the way, they're assholes.
They're not as good as some people think.
No, PETA's horrible. Look into it. But I hate the whole like testing like makeup or like shampoo products or this and that on animals. That shouldn't happen. So my heart went out for that because I'm a very empathetic person. So that just made me feel really sad. So because I love this book a lot, and I loved everything about it, but I felt bad loving it because of how badly these poor creatures were treated the whole time.
So you publicly dislike this author as a rule.
Yes.
And you like this book anyways.
But also, I don't like Alan Moore, but I love Watchmen, so.
Still, you have this author you publicly disdain.
I publicly dislike.
And this one's like, but this is still awesome.
So if I'm endorsing it, it means y'all gonna love this shit, because
it's my secret goal to get you to read more Grant Morrison books and secretly start to like him.
Yes, Batman Incorporated.
No,
made
we
for
won't
you,
do
my
that
friend.
one.
Fuck you.
I like Batman Incorporated, but again, we're talking We3.
So we're going back to this thing again. It's short, rabbit, dog, cat, and they're just such innocent bystanders.
I even love they almost had like their own Stand By Me moment on the train bridge.
Yeah. And it's just filled with these things. We've got an audience member flipping through it as we speak, and it's fantastic. And it's just something you should experience. This book is as much as an experience as it is a story one reads. And we can delineate every little bit of it, but don't just experience it and decide for yourself how great it is. I mean, Grant Morrison's a fucking weirdo, and I love the man. I
have a documentary about Grant Morrison, and it's really good. If I can dig it out, we should have a viewing party one time.
Yeah, totally should. He wrote a book called Super Gods.
I have that book.
It is great. And it's when he did his run on Batman, he started with the assumption that every Batman story actually happened in canon. And he tried to write reflecting that. And talk about a bizarre guy.
His brain is on a whole nother level.
He did all the drugs.
All of them.
All of them.
There is no more drugs in the world. That's how we won the war on drugs.
That is how we won the war on drugs.
She gave all the drugs to Grant Morrison.
Keith Richards is smoking the excrement out of Grant Morrison to get high.
And also, as a generation, we do need to sit back and think about what kind of world are we going to leave Keith Richards.
Yeah,
that's true. He's still alive.
Because he's going to outlast us.
For all we know, he is a lich.
No, every time a big musical star dies, he gets their quickening. It's like Highlander.
I know.
Yeah, he killed them. He's gonna live forever after Bowie died, man. There was a lot of power.
That's
there.
right.
And Prince.
Yes.
And Prince. Yeah. That was when he was getting sick. He had to kill two off.
That's right. Jesus Whatever it Christ. Takes.
Fucking hell.
Whatever it takes to keep on going. Smoking his dad's ashes wasn't enough.
Anyways, so Brian, you haven't really talked too much about this age.
What do you think, Brian?
I like it. I don't have a whole lot to add to this. You know what I mean? I think it is what you've all said. I mean, it's an experience as much as it is a book. I think this, sort of like my recommendation I had last week where I discussed Jeff Lemire's Secret Path, there is something very cool about this book in its ability to show the potential of what the art form can be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, I think, for better or for worse, I don't necessarily want to make this connection, but I'm going to make this connection anyway. It's sort of like the film Citizen Kane. Not saying that this is the Citizen Kane of comic books, but the thing about the Citizen Kane is that arguably the story is but visually it did something very unique for film and showed that film could be pushed to the next level. Books like this show how far the medium can do and how much emotion that can be packed inside of it, and how much it can do. I mean, and it's one of those books that shows that it can be more than just superheroes fighting, villains who, monologue and twirl mustaches and whatnot, which is why I think this is really a great book to give to people to check out. It's a really powerful book. It's an easy little read, but has a lot of impact. I mean, it is the Pixar short of comic books. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So.
No, actually, that actually sums it up very perfectly. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. If that sums it up perfectly, do we want to go into cocktails?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Adam, what would you like?
Hang on, let me pull it up again.
Mr. Maya, what would you like?
Yeah, I'll go with mine. I sent you the drink earlier, and I'm going to change the name of it to Good Rabbit.
Okay. Spelled G-U-D, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does take a little bit of work. There's some prep work. First thing you want is you're going to make some pineapple cinnamon syrup. What you're going to do is bring 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water to a boil and simmer until the sugar is dissolved. Then remove it from heat and add 1 cup of fresh pineapple chunks and 4 cinnamon sticks and steep for 30 minutes. Then you're going to remove anything solid left in it and store it in the refrigerator. And once that's cooled down, you're going to use a half ounce of that, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice, 1.5 ounce of espadin mezcal,
Ooh.
and a 1/4 ounce of Suisse aperitif, and a 1/4 ounce of yellow chartreuse. Going to add all the ingredients to a cocktail shaker with ice and shake until it's well chilled, and then strain it into a rocks glass over fresh ice and garnish with a pineapple.
Even with it being so cold, I bet that thing's fragrant as fuck. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Fragrant as fuck should be the name of the episode.
We3, fragrant as fuck.
There we go.
Speaking of fragrant as fuck, so I think I've cut a lot of these out, so I haven't really said it. But I've done. I did a weight loss challenge at a UFC gym, and as far as I'm aware, I fucking won.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
What does that mean?
We both have.
You get like a year of gym membership?
I get a free year at the gym when it's not necessarily a cheap gym, so I'm pretty excited about it. Like I figured out the value.
Yes!
It's probably about $600, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Queen.
Damn.
But so the funny thing was, Jess wanted to go with me one day, and like it was one of those things where like she wanted to go, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to force you into anything. You want to go, I'll take you with me. And so the thing was, is like I had wraps that I gave her for her hands. I wrapped her hands with some stuff that I had because I washed them or whatever. But I didn't have an extra pair of gloves, so she had to borrow a pair of gloves, and it was like sweaty, stinky gloves, and she was just like horrified by it, right? And so she talked, and so I was trying to be nice. I was trying to offer her my gloves, and she was like, no, wasn't having it. And I didn't realize how fragrant my boxing gloves were until I went to open my bag today at the gym, and I was like, oh, holy shit. Like, I was like, I need to do something about that. So my boxing gloves need a little love right now. But there you go. There's a fragrant as fuck sort of moment for you.
There you go.
Cool. Mr. Adam, are you good?
Oh, yeah. So mine's called the Bulldog Rush. And what you do is you take 2 ounces of bourbon, 3 ounces of Cointreau, half of a peach that's unpitted. Get the pit out of there. Half a lemon, 1 teaspoon of simple syrup, and 6 to 8 mint leaves. In a shaker, you muddle the peach, the lemon, the mint leaves. Then you add in the bourbon, Cointreau, simple syrup. You shake the fuck out of it, and you strain it into a Collins glass. And then you garnish with mint leaves.
Oh, cool. And Mr. Todd, do you have a cocktail?
Yeah, this one's most commonly known as Red Death, but I'm going to call it Rabbit's Blood because I'm going there.
Okay.
So this will also end up in a Collins glass. So in a cocktail shaker, you add 1 ounce of Southern Comfort, half an ounce of vanilla vodka, half an ounce of some sloe gin, half an ounce of Cointreau, half an ounce of amaretto, half an ounce of lemon juice, and 4 ounces of orange juice. And you proceed, and you fill that with ice cubes. You proceed to shake the shit out of that, so it's nice and fucking cold. Pour that into a Collins glass filled with ice as well, and you garnish it with an orange wedge. So, I mean, this should go along with an AMF or even a Long Island iced tea.
Got a lot of booze in it.
There is a lot of booze, and you are going to drink this rabbit's blood, and all the tears will come out of you as you experience all the feels.
Cool. And then my cocktail is a slightly less complicated. By slightly, I mean definitely less complicated. There's 3 ingredients in the entire thing. One of which
Fine, be that one.
I know mine is called the Salty Dog. It's actually an old cocktail. Basically, you're going to use salt to rim a glass, just like Adam taught you. And then you're going to do 1.5 ounces of vodka in the glass, and then you're going to top it off with grapefruit juice, and you're done. So grapefruit juice.
Grapefruit juice and vodka with salt.
Yep.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a nice salty dog for you.
Sure.
Hopefully there are not any more animal themed cocktails coming up this month.
I think there will be.
You think?
I think so.
Because I already used the salty dog. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a ton. Anyway,
well, try to figure out a chicken drink, but I'm not sure how to get there.
I'll have to think about that.
Right.
Although
chicken fucker in some kind is
every time if we did like theme songs for it, I think there's an Aquabat song called "We Got the Chicken," which is all about the different fried chicken restaurants they've eaten while on tour, like all over the country, which is pretty awesome. If we did theme songs for episodes, I would do that, but we don't do that. Cool. Does anybody else have anything else they want to discuss?
No.
I think it was a pretty straightforward book. It's really fucking good, but it's also there's not much depth to it.
Yeah, no,
Short.
true.
Again, but I do want to see that short film that you're talking about. I would love to see someone take this on and do like a 20-minute animated film that shows the story.
Right, and have everyone leaving pissed off.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, then let's jump into grades.
Jamie, school is never a waste of time.
Since we have 15 minutes until recess, please put down your pencils and stare at the front of the room.
It's report card time. It's report card time. It's report card time. I'm so fucking done.
Oh, God, please, no! 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 No!
For Mr. Grant Morrison, dare I ask, Mr. Adam, what is your grade?
A+.
Oh! I'm styling the front of my pants.
Absolutely loved every fucking thing about this book. It was because so my drinking game rule is like, when there's no dialogue, you have to take a drink, which there is very little dialogue in this book, but it's paced and written so well that you can see all the care and love and time that went into making sure this thing was the best it possibly could be. And to tell as rich and nuanced a story as you had with 3 issues, like we said, 60 pages.
Not every book needs to be 6 issues, 8 issues.
Takes a lot of skill, and as much as I still don't like Grant Morrison, I will give credit where credit's due and say this book's fucking amazing.
Mr. Todd.
I'm just so happy.
Also drunk.
I'm more sober now. I'm just still happy that Mr. Adam is appreciating the wonderment of Morrison. So I'm putting it up on a pedestal next to Voltron. And I'm just appreciating it.
That's the Megazord. That's Power Rangers.
Voltron was first. It was the inspiration for everything. So it's no, dude, it's an A. So it's 3 issues. Another author could have stretched this out to 6 or 8, and it would have been a lot of filler. I mean, unlike the actual Sum 41 album, this is all killer with no filler.
What are you talking about? There's no filler on that entire album.
There is a song worth its salt on that album.
You're not wrong, but I'm just trying to
a song. So, but yeah, no, it's all killer, no filler. Morrison is great here, and it's him at some of his most abbreviated and some of his best work too.
Cool. And Mr. Maya?
I'm right there with Adam with an A+.
I know, right?
It hit you in the feels when it needed to, and it was like, I like that you compared it to Homeward Bound, because that's what it made me think of as I was reading it.
Yes.
I was more going The Adventures of Milo and Otis, but that's...
Oh, Milo and Otis.
As everyone cries over their favorite childhood animal film.
Yes.
Like Benji.
No, fuck that. No,
Beethoven's third.
I will stab you.
Airbud.
Free Willy.
Okay, so by the time this comes out, the playoffs will be over.
Michael Madsen's greatest movie.
One of the things I saw recently was a tweet from Air Bud. It was retweeted by ESPN, but it was just a tweet from Air Bud, and it said, "Cleveland, call me," which is like my favorite thing I've ever seen. When we record this, Game 2 was last night, so however that all turns out. Right now, Cleveland
very much as expected.
Yeah, Cleveland is down 2 games to 0 right now. So
it's like we've seen this all before.
It is.
Are
and,
we stuck in the Matrix in a loop?
Maybe. I tried to explain to Jess why I hated LeBron James one day. That's a totally different issue. So my grade for Grant Morrison, I'm going to give him an A as well. It's A. So this is going to go probably into our pantheon of great comics. So So for art, for Frank Quietly, I'm going to just jump in and give my grade as, say, an A as well. The emotion that he's able to convey in the animals' faces and to tell that story where it's mainly visual and there isn't a lot of dialogue is really impressive. So that's why I'm giving it an A. Mr. Adam, what is your grade?
I'm an A as well. I mean, again, the art's fantastic. It pops, it bursts to life. It makes you feel like it draws you into this world. It's fantastic. It's some of the best I've seen. I loved it. So
cool. Mr. Todd?
It's an A as well. I mean, I don't even think Mads Mikkelsen from the Hannibal era could portray more in a look than what's being put out in the eyes.
Right?
Really?
Exactly. No, it does a great fucking job.
It is absolutely fantastic. And it is, in all seriousness here, it is amazing. And it's just singing so well. And this is what the medium can be, is what this is. So go Frank.
Yeah. Cool. And Mr. Maya?
I'm going to give it an A+ as well, a double A+. Frank Whiteley is one of my favorite artists.
I am eating his beans.
And I'm going to bring it up again in my recommendations, but I'll bring up another book of his. But goddamn, he knows how to draw some books.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And then we'll go for overall grades. I'm going to take wild guesses that these are all going to be A's, but we're going to get the confirmation from everyone here. Mr. Adam, what is your total grade?
A+.
Okay.
Yeah. So my only regret with this book is that, with Wicked and Divine, there was a story that went with it. That was like the last one I gave an A+ to was Wicked and Divine. That there's more story going on, which I actually can be behind on. I actually own all the fucking things. I just haven't read them yet. I kind of want to see where the story goes, and I kind of wish like the animals. I want to see what happens with them because like obviously they don't have their mechs anymore, but they're smart and they know what's going on, and they've got more stuff happening just than what their powers were. So I want to know what happens next. I really do.
I'd like to think that they take care of the homeless guy and he takes care of it.
Yeah,
I think so too. Give them a happy ending because they deserve that. But
sure.
This will be put up there with the books that I, along with Wicked and Divine, will now grade the rest of our books on. So
yeah. Oh man, I'm getting tear up a little bit. I was just looking at the last picture of the dog barking.
Oh.
Yeah, just a happy little picture. Because I guess in my opinion of it is, I think that they, to a certain extent, I think that they deliberately choose to lead a happy, simpler life and just are happy with the homeless man. But before I start crying about that, I'll also give it an A. Yeah, it's a beautiful fucking book. Mr. Todd.
Dude, I think we all feel like the fawns here at Happy Days, and we're just going, yay! And yeah, it's great. I mean, you guys know my opinion. I've talked about it. There's not going to be any surprise here. So it's fantastic. Everyone should read this. You really should. Read it.
Cool. And Mr. Maya.
I don't know, guys.
Yeah, is it double A, triple A?
Well,
or does it
gave the art an A+ and the writing an A+, so I'm giving it an overall A+. It's one of my favorite books, and the fact that Adam would give a Grant Morrison book an A+,
I know,
makes me so happy.
I've got a little stiffy here too.
This is a book that I've recommended to people a lot over the years, and it's a perfect book. I don't think I can say otherwise.
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome. So then let's move on. Do we have any recommendations?
Yeah, I'll start.
Yes.
I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but I'm going to say, if you like this by Grant Morrison and Frank Whiteley, go check out All-Star Superman. It's basically Superman doing the Trials of Hercules.
Okay.
It's not as in your face as that, but that's essentially what the story is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it is. Todd's shaking his head. It's been a while since I've read it. Yeah, it is kind of in your. It's fantastic, and it's one of the absolute best Superman stories you will ever read.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Adam.
So the game I'm playing right now, which actually last episode I was like, well, let me play some more before I recommend it. I'm going to recommend it no matter what. It's called Detroit Become Human. This is by the developer Quantic Dream, who did Indigo Prophecy and Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. This is a great game for people who don't like video games. Because first of all, it's fucking gorgeous as shit. It's all done with mocap on the PS4. It's a PS4 exclusive. if you have a PS Pro, it looks like you're watching a movie.
It looks like real life.
Yeah, it takes place in 2038, where androids are commonplace. Everyone owns one. Take care of your kids. They take care of your house. Some people make them into sex slaves, and you play as one of 3 androids. And at this point in time in the game where I am, one of them hit the singularity and now has sentience, and now actually is fully alive. And the cool thing about Quantic Dream games is that there's no game over screen. No matter what happens to the game, if you fuck up or if a character dies, the game goes on. They're just not there anymore. So everything you do changes how the game plays, and so far it's absolutely stunning. It's amazing, and it's gorgeous as hell. Heavy Rain is up there in my top 5 games of all time. Beyond Two Souls had some problems, so that is what it is. But so far, this is showing up to be like the best game they've made, and it's really cool because when you go through a chapter, at the end of it, it actually shows like the path you could have taken, and all the decisions you made to get to where you are, and you can see the decisions you missed, or like the clues you missed, and also the different outcomes. I won't tell you what they are, but so the first episode is an android went rogue, kidnapped the kid who was watching, and so you have to go as the android in charge of the police to go talk him down to make sure he doesn't kill the kid. I just did what I thought I was supposed to do. I got apparently one of the best endings with that part, but there was 4 more, and I don't even know what other 4 options there could have been. But there's this whole branching tree of choices and skills. I just missed out on half of them, and I was really thorough in checking to see what I could do. So, Detroit Become Human, Quantic Dream, it's fucking amazing. If you buy the digital version, you'll get Heavy Rain for free on the PS4, and again, that's one of my top 5 games of all time.
That game will fuck with your emotions.
It will fuck with your head, though, yeah. Even though I get the good ending. I mean, still, it's like Saw meets Silence of the Lambs meets One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's fucking amazing. So go out, pick it up. It's fantastic. And yeah, that's it.
Was it Heavy Rain or was it Chubby Rain?
No, Chubby Rain's what Todd has right now. So
a little bit.
It's a Bowfinger reference for anybody who's seen that movie.
I haven't seen Bowfinger in so long.
Yeah, the aliens are hidden in the region. It's called Chubby Rain.
That's right.
Okay, well, Mr. Chubby, Todd.
Hey!
Do you have any recommendations?
I do. So, if you thought this Grant Morrison was so incredibly accessible and amazing, I'm going to recommend something that's not. And it's called The Filth. I think he was high as fuck on shrooms the entire time and just went with it. And it is odd and strange, and I've had to read it 3 times, and it's kind of like Fooly Cooley, where they say eyebrows for the 4th time, and the guy's eyebrow kind of falls off his face and floats to the ground, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? I might understand it. That is reading The Filth.
Okay. Have I recommended on the show Too Funny to Fail?
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember it for sure.
Okay, so there's
even if you did, recommend it again.
Do it.
We've only done 115 of these.
I know.
So the number. It's actually higher than mine, which is weird.
So Too Funny to Fail is a documentary about the Dana Carvey show. After he left Saturday Night Live, he had his own sitcom, or not sitcom, like sketch comedy show during television, and it had some young unknown actors and writers, namely Louis C.K. and Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell, and it's this documentary that Hulu made about this TV show, and the documentary is pretty awesome itself. The other thing that Hulu did very smartly is they also put all 8 original episodes of, and that's all that they ever made. Not all that aired. They didn't air all of them, but all that were ever made. They put all 8 episodes on Hulu as well, so I've been watching this as well. So if I've already recommended Too Funny to Fail, I also will recommend the Dana Carvey show, which is also very, very funny. So 2 fun things to watch on Hulu if you have them. Highly recommend them. It was a fun time watching both of those things. There's a clip from the movie that I've shown to a few people to sell them on it. Basically, and I'll kind of explain it. They're talking about how they were trying to do sort of like a Monty Python sort of slightly edgy comedy show, and their time slot was right after a family show, which was Home Improvement. And so they show them, the guys involved in it, they show them this ad of how the show is being sold. And so it was basically like this really dramatic episode of Home Improvement, like a very special episode of it. And then they followed it up with, and followed by that, it's the Dana Carvey show. And Stephen Colbert, like, can't stop laughing for, like, a good solid minute. Like, he's just, like, horrified as to what they had done to the American people. But it's a fun show. Like, I really, like, both parts of it, the documentary and the TV show, I think are really great. It's something a little bit different and interesting to check out. So yeah, that would be my recommendation for the week. I think that will do it for this week. Next week we are doing Usagi. Am I saying that right? Usagi
Yojimbo.
Usagi Yojimbo. It's about a rabbit samurai, as far as I'm aware.
It's Volume 1, The Ronin.
So that will be next week, we'll continue on our Animal Month, and there's 5 weeks of July this year, so we're going to be doing lots of animal books, which will be fun. So, and then next month it's Andy Wilson month, kids. Be prepared.
Dun, dun.
We're gonna.
Has he given you his list yet?
No, I need to text him. I've forgotten about that.
I'll hit him up. So,
well, yeah. So that will be then. Until then, has anybody got anything? Final thoughts? Anything else?
Nope, I'm good. I'm going to eat dinner. So
cool. They're all going to go take Adam's pork in their mouth. I'm going to probably go to bed because I have to work early in the morning. But thanks for listening, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
So that happened. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. This band of knuckleheads will be back next week with a new episode. Until then, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr as Funny Books and Firewater, and on Twitter as @FirewaterCast. Go to funnybooksandfirewater.com for the most up-to-date information, as well as cocktail recipes from this and past episodes. Thank you for joining us. And until next week, support your local comic shop, tip your bartender well, and stay hydrated.